Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha. Well, here you are again at the Decomposer Lounge mainstream, where I am decomposing as your old composer, blah blah blah, music, but from mainstream. And so right now, please forgive me if I get the name wrong. I'm horrible at this, but I'm going to say Alip Bata. Okay, so he looks like he's doing an instrumental of My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion. One of the joys that I have about what has happened as an old composer, as an old guy who did not grow up with YouTube, but always had this visceral knowledge that around the world there were so many incredible musicians, be it single instrumentalists or bands and stuff out there that YouTube brought to light because of the accessibility. And this, I believe, is one of those tracks. I've had a couple people from my other channel say, dude, you got to listen to this. So I enjoy just clicking on links and doing it. So let's do this together. Okay, from Alip Bata, My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion. Obviously an acoustic guitar cover. All right. Okay, I know he's about to give us another lesson in incredible creative dexterity. Automatically, when I started the video and I saw that he had that in his hand, I didn't know what to expect. You never know what to expect, obviously. And excuse me. And the fact that he can cover that opening melody, the very recognizable melody, with that it's a recorder, I believe, or I don't know exactly what the name of that. I don't want to say flute is, but that wind instrument, and he's playing it beautifully, okay, while executing the basics of the chord change on the left hand. That is incredibly difficult. And I mean, I have a hard time singing Ba Ba Black Sheep and clapping my hands at the same time. And I'm a seasoned composer and stuff. I mean, I have my skill set, but I look at this and I'm in complete awe. And then another super difficult thing to do is to, when you're doing an instrumental, especially when you're doing a like multi-timbral or a string or a piano, you know, where you have multiple notes that you could play at one time, you're doing a melody and playing the chords around that melody is also a very unique, challenging composition, especially when you want to make it your own. So yes, you can look up the sheet music and do the chords and do the melody in it, but when you make it your own is what differentiates instrumentalists from each other. In this case, the way he's playing the guitar and the configurations that he's picking is not only beautiful, but it's also the dynamics of how he's playing his left hand. You may have seen me kind of freak out on some of the sliding work that he did there, but also some of the bending work. And those are the dynamics that allow the song for me to the melody to breathe comfortably through his chord changes. You know, and another thing is I just can't help but just be completely like I said at the very beginning of the video, just there's so much incredible talent out there that by the virtue of YouTube, thank God, before I excuse me, before I get too old and I punt and I'm done with this planet, that I get to experience as a composer such incredible musicians. And another thing is I just love the setup where he's at. I mean, the whole thing. He's got his cup of coffee there, and I think he's got an ashtray or something. I mean, just the whole relaxed nature and the celebration of music in this performance by this gentleman is just, to me, that's what music is. That's what music was before the record industry. Was this kind of communications. You sit around, there's a few people hanging out, and you talk story. Anyhow, I went on and on. I'm sorry, a little, you know, the older I get, the better I was. I kind of wax eloquently about wisdom, of which I'm still trying to figure out how to use myself. All right, let's continue. Okay, I'm going to stop there for two reasons only. Number one, watching his right hand picking techniques, very clean, very precise, but the pinky as his tempo. You know, keeping that, you know, he's hitting the one of every measure with that. And that's really unique. You know, guitar players of that talent, they can do a lot of things percussively. There was that guy who blew up YouTube early on, a guy named, I think it was Andy McKee, with an original piece where he was doing hammer-ons and tapping and stuff. And that's another thing. When he's playing that instrument and he's doing the tapping, the hammer-ons, man, that is precision and strength right there. And that is something that I still, after 40 years, I could not play with that kind of confidence on my hammering, let alone playing and looking down and doing this. Forget about it, just forget about it. And then finally, did you see he had about 8-10 seconds of pure blissful stank face? You know what's stank face? You ever see musicians when they make faces when they play notes and whatever, play bass or whatever? You saw it come out there, and it gave me a little bit of chicken skin there. So that was, I loved that. Here we go. Wow, I don't know what happened there in the video. I guess maybe it just, you know, however he, you know, was recording it and stuff. How amazing with that. Did you see me? I started going, okay, well, there should be a modulation. How's he going to do the modulation? And he just down goes this, slip up the kachuku, I forget, the capo, and he just played. I'm going to definitely go deeper into this guy's catalog, but I love the energy and the essence of his performance. It's a one-off. There's no arrangements and layers and stuff. Sometimes when you just need to kick back and you just need to hear the human performance of an instrument, just a single instrument, and especially, it could be any kind of sit-down performance, but sometimes just the one-off in the most natural places could be some of the most wonderfully effective music, especially if it's that you just need to chill. I don't care what kind of music. It's something like this. It's kind of like you sit down, you rinse, you just chill and just go, ah. And then just enjoy the performance too. So anyhow, so that was Alip Ba Ta. Once again, forgive me if I'm not saying the name wrong. Thanks for hanging out here on the I'm a little Decomposer Lounge mainstream, and thanks for leaving comments. And I'm digging this mainstream channel. So thank you. All right, aloha.